Hey, what's up? My name is PJ, and you are listening to the Music Photo Podcast, session number 16. Thank you for joining me here for another episode of the Music Photo Podcast. My name is PJ Pantelis. I'll be your host for today. You can find me on Twitter at PJPantelis. So this week on the show, we have what's probably the most candid, actually definitely the most candid conversation that I've had so far. I say that because I went into this session with no notes. It's literally just a conversation between myself and my buddy Jared Leibowitz. Jared was on episode 6 of the podcast, so he was on in what I would classify as the early days of the podcast, even though we're only up to number 16 now, I believe. I can't remember. But anyway, it's a very candid conversation. Jared at the time was getting ready for a couple of tours, including one in the US. He messaged me on Facebook asking a couple of questions, and I said, wait, save it. Let's just discuss all this stuff on Skype for a podcast, and I can record it and put it out for anyone that might be interested in having a listen. So it's definitely less structured, but if you are into all this stuff, touring, taking photos of bands, editing, living on the road, working with new bands, any of that stuff, I think you'll enjoy the conversation. If not, that's fine as well. I hope you do. If you do enjoy it, it would mean a hell of a lot if you were to jump on iTunes and leave me a hopefully positive review. That helps the show get seen by new people and into the ears of the sort of person that could really enjoy and benefit from this sort of content. For now, I will leave it there. I hope you enjoy my session and very candid conversation with the talented Jared Leibowitz. Jared, my man, thank you so much for jumping on tonight. How you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. How you going?
Yeah, pretty good, man.
That's good to hear, my man.
What have you been up to creatively lately?
Creatively, assisted on a few jobs. Just kind of doing a few shoots here and there. Mostly like live stuff still.
Yep.
Nothing really. Not too much portraiture lately, but
Yep.
hopefully soon enough it'll come back into that. Yeah. What about you? What's been happening?
I've been doing my thing. I've had a fairly quiet couple of weeks. I've been working a lot on my YouTube channel, but I've had a fairly quiet couple of weeks in terms of jobs. I was away for a bit on the Short Stack tour with Storm the Sky. And then, yeah, that's about it lately for the last month or so.
How was that tour? Was it interesting? Was it fun? Was it?
Do you know what the best thing about it was? The dates were pretty spaced, so we actually had some time to enjoy ourselves.
Right.
Like we had the last leg of the tour was there was a Sydney date and a Brisbane date, but there was a week in between. So instead of going home, we just went and stayed on the Gold Coast. So we just had a bit of a holiday, which was really good.
That's sick.
Cool. As you know, you don't usually get that luxury. Usually it's like in and out, overnight drives, but this is really good.
Yeah, not bad.
So speaking of tours, you are about to, or you're supposed to be in the US right now, I think. Is that right?
Yeah, I was meant to leave. Today's the first. I think I was meant to leave today or tomorrow. And yeah, just some visa troubles. Applications been going in on time, and so everything's been postponed. Like visas don't matter for me because I'm an American citizen, as you know. But yeah, so I mean, I can't really go over there with nothing to do. So
Yeah.
So it's I don't know what's gonna happen really, because I need the idea was, so I have to come back at the end of March for something that hopefully will go ahead, but I need to be here just in case it does. So I was only going to do 2.5 weeks of the tour and then come back. But now that it's a 7-week long tour, so I was only going to do the first 2.5 weeks and then come back. But now it's looking like I'll stay here until after what hopefully will happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'll probably be leaving in April by the looks of it.
Okay.
And then doing like the final stretch of the tour, which is a bit of a bummer because the final stretch of the tour is mostly in Canada. So, like, I mean, I've never been to Canada, but I would have really loved to explore the States a bit more.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, yeah, I mean, nothing really I can do. So,
especially if that's where your blood comes from, because you're from New York originally.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd missed out on all the New York dates either way, no matter which one I did though. So.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. But yeah, that's pretty lucky for you though, because I know like trying to get a working visa for the US is just a nightmare.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's good that you're a US citizen. That'll even help getting in and out of Canada, because I hear that's quite a hassle for some bands sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, like, I was speaking to my dad, and he was saying that Americans, like US citizens, can go in and out of Canada just with their driver's license. They don't actually need like a passport or anything. So
yeah, right.
Which is pretty like sick. I mean, you don't need like official documents and all that kind of stuff. Just a driver's license. And
yeah, that's really good. Well, even like the tour that I did end of last year, with Norma Jean and Belhaven over there, we sat out the Canada dates just for a host of issues. But apparently, for 2 shows, it's just not worth the trouble of getting in and out and customs and all that stuff. Even all the local bands, the US bands on the tour, apparently they had like customs officers like getting on the tour bus, like searching through stuff, and apparently it's really full on. So yeah, that'll benefit you for sure.
Yeah, with the tour dates though, it's not like 2 days like yours was. I think it's like 9 dates. So it's
right.
It's definitely, and it's all of their headline shows as well. So they definitely can't miss out on them.
Yeah. So walk us through, what's the tour package? What bands are on the tour?
Oh man, it is. So pretty much Make Them Suffer are doing like 2 tours in one, I guess. So some shows are their headline shows, some of them they're supporting. So the supporting ones are, the headliner is Like Moths to Flames.
Oh
yeah. And then it's, I thought I got it up. And then it's, I want to say like 9 Inch. No.
Nine Ass Kills.
That's the one. Yeah. And Make Them Suffer, and then one other band, I can't remember what their name. Light Up the Sky.
Okay, I've not heard that one, but
yeah.
I'm fairly certain Bryce, who I haven't put the episode out, but he's going to be the episode before this. I'm pretty sure he is a photographer for that band or with that band. So
Light Up the Sky.
No, Ice Nine Kills.
Okay, yeah, sick.
So you may even meet him over there. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, man.
That'll be interesting.
Cool. Yeah.
Cool, man. So wait, was it 3 or 4 bands? I can't remember.
It's 4 bands.
4. Cool.
Yeah, so Like Moths to Flames, Ice Nine Kills, Make Them Suffer, and Light Up the Sky.
Yep. So. And how many dates are you doing for the last week? 9.
No, I'm doing. Let me get that up. It's a few dates still. I mean, I arrived back with them in Ohio.
Okay.
So that's on the 1st of April.
Mm-hmm.
That's at least the plan at this current moment. And then it goes New York. Wow, I'm looking at this now. So it's Ohio, New York, Ontario for 2 days, Quebec, then Ontario, then I don't know what that one is. That might be, I don't even know. Then
is it in French?
No, I think it might be the States actually. So maybe there are 4 States shows, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so 9.
Canada.
So yeah, Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's going to be majority Canadian, but that's all right. Never been, so it could be an experience.
Unreal.
Yeah.
What's the biggest run that you've done? Because I know you did Europe with Make Them Suffer.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, that was sick. That was with Viart and Oceano.
Mm-hmm.
So there were 2 separate tours, but they were cool.
That's a pretty heavy package, hey?
Yeah. They Oceano are like probably one of the heaviest bands I've seen in a long time.
Yeah,
which is sick. Yeah.
Is it just me, or Make them suffer, maybe not as heavy as I thought they were, or maybe not as heavy as they used to be.
They're definitely not as heavy as they used to be.
Okay.
Never Bloom was like really, really heavy, but also is a bit more, I don't want to say upbeat, but yeah, definitely not as like drop, I don't know, drop
chug,
C.
chug, chug. Yeah. A bit more sort of commercially relatable.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, cool. And wait, so how many dates was your Europe tour?
Oh, man, that was
just ballpark.
2 months.
2 months. Wow.
I think. No. Maybe just over a month.
Okay, but you've done a stretch before. You've done some time.
Yeah. I don't think I would have been able to survive 7 weeks, to be honest. Actually.
Yeah.
Just too much stuff going on. So need to come back and do another job, like to actually earn some
proper money.
Yeah, some proper money. Like it's all right there.
Yeah. I think it sounds like very much the way that you can make it possible to tour full time and to make a proper income is by probably either doing multiple jobs or working for the whole tour package. Because I know Jonathan Kemp, he's probably listening. I hope he was listening. I toured with him in the US. He was working with one of the bands mainly, but doing some stuff for the others.
Yeah.
He was saying that he gets a cut of merch from each band. So if they have a great night on merch, he'll get a cut of that. And if he can work for 2, 3, 4 bands on the bill, it actually works out really well for him.
True.
And he does
wait, so he does that like every tour, like, and that's a really smart idea.
I'm not sure if he does it every tour, but this is what he was doing on this tour. So it's kind of a win-win, because if the band has a really terrible night and they can't afford to pay him, it's already, that's the agreement already. So if it's a shit night, that's, so be it. They've taken a loss. If it's a good night, great. Everyone's a winner. The band's making money. The photographer's making money. He was also helping out with some merch stuff when they were playing. When they were, anyway, when they couldn't do it, he would jump behind the desk or whatever. But he was just doing photos. I don't even think he was doing video or anything. And if you can do it for a few bands on a package, that can be very worthwhile.
Yeah, definitely. That is such a smart idea, because like if you're like, I just want like 5% even, and let's say they make like, because usually like decent sized bands, they make about like, I'd say maybe like $200 to $500 a night on merch.
In the US, honestly, it's a lot bigger than that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I would say this band, The Ongoing Concept, which were on a package of 5 or 6, they were second. So they were the second smallest. Was that right? Second, second from the bottom. Actually, they were probably doing a lot better than most of the bigger bands, but they were probably doing between 500 and 2,000 a night.
Shit.
They were doing quite well.
Yeah, so I mean, like, okay, so let's say on average they'd be doing about like $900 a night. Take 5% of that. That's almost $50.
Yeah, if you can do that for a couple of bands, like
a lot of live music photographers struggle to get like $50 a day.
Yeah, just like a PD, just like a food allowance or something.
Yeah, and 50 US can get you pretty far, like food wise.
It's really cheap to eat over there. Like we were just doing. You've got like a bandwagon, don't you, for this tour?
Honestly, I don't know. They've had to cut a few little things, so they're saying either the bandwagon or a 12-seater.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, and I think there only going to be like 8 of us. So
okay. Yeah. So because the bandwagon probably makes more sense if there's a bigger crew or like multiple bands or that sort of thing. Hey.
Yeah. Well, the bandwagon has 8 beds, so it would have been good for us.
Okay.
But yeah, it's definitely a lot more expensive. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, pitch it this way to them. I don't know if you would have a say. They've probably got it organized already. But with Belhaven, we did it with a family camper van RV.
Yeah, right.
I think it sleeps 7 comfortably. We had 9 at most, which was a bit of a stretch.
Yeah, right.
But if you can rotate one person on the floor just on like a blow up mattress, it's pretty doable, and it actually works out. They the packages, they have unlimited miles, so you don't have to pay, every 100 miles or whatever, and it works out to be cheaper to have that instead of a 12-seater and a trailer.
Yeah, right.
And the RV has a toilet, a fridge, a stove, a sink, and all that stuff.
That's pretty nifty.
So yeah, that was good.
Sick.
I mean, you'll have the best time regardless, I'm sure, but like to have a fridge and a toilet and that stuff, that's a nice luxury to have, particularly if you want to do it cheaply.
Yeah. I mean, what my view on it is that they'd be saving money on accommodation as well. So, I mean, if you get the 12-seater, you don't want to be sleeping on the seats. So we're probably going to be getting accommodation.
Yeah.
And that will cost maybe like, what do you reckon? Like maybe like $15 a person.
At least,
yeah. Like if you found like a really dodgy motel, like $15 a person, like that's over $100 there. That's almost $700 a day.
Yeah.
Plus, $700 a week. Plus, you're looking at the van, which is like at least $800, $900 a week.
Yeah.
For like a dodgy van. So it definitely would be cheaper and probably better.
Will you guys be driving it yourselves?
I highly doubt it. They're probably going to drive it. Yeah.
Yeah, because if you can find someone, I mean, that'd just take the pressure off immeasurably. Yeah. Like to have to drive, I mean, forget about dealing with all the other issues on tour. Any issues between band members, shows, just the cycle and the lack of sleep, like that would just take the pressure off so much to have a driver. Hey.
Yeah, I mean, we had a driver in Europe, which is amazing. I mean, I didn't have to worry about any of that. But and they also know the roads.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
So they know where all the shortcuts, all that kind of stuff. Which is
the other cool thing about having a driver is it means the band can sort of make the most of every single night. So they can go and party with the other bands and network and just enjoy their trip to the fullest extent.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah. So that'll be really good.
I actually wanted to ask, what are the venues like over there? I mean, like not necessarily size wise, but like catering wise, like is there like, do they feed you? Do you have to go? Do they just give you some money to go out and buy food around the corner, or what's the deal with that?
So it really depends. Like we had some awesome venues and some fairly shitty ones. Like the tour that we did, I think it was probably between, let's say like a 200 to 300 cap and like a 1200 cap. So like there was a bit of variety on there. Obviously, like the places closer to the band's hometowns, they really went off. Like the Atlanta show, insane at Masquerade.
Right. Okay.
Awesome catering, Wi-Fi, riders, the whole deal. Like awesome venue. But then like, like in Albuquerque, it was like a really small venue, nothing there. It was like a warehouse basically, and there's like a curtain separating the green room from the crowd.
Yeah, right.
So it's a bit hit and miss. It depends on. I would say that on the like Moths to Flames shows, you get better venues just because they've probably done a few tours and collected a few fans already.
Yeah.
Probably if it's Make Them Suffer's first headline, the shows will be a bit smaller. I'm only assuming here. Maybe they have a great US following already.
Their US following is probably like their best following, definitely.
Oh, okay. Better than Australia.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah, which is pretty crazy. They've never been either, so.
That's really good because they did like, like 200-ish cap venues on their Australian tour?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty solid.
500. Yeah.
That's really cool. Yeah, well, it was a bit hit and miss. In terms of buyouts and stuff, I didn't really, I wasn't a part of that, so I can't exactly tell you how it went.
Right, okay.
But I'm assuming that'll come from either, you know, your TM. I'm assuming there'll be a TM for the entire package. He'll sort that out for you, and that'll come through your band or through the label even maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the venues were a bit hit and miss. Like the ones that did have catering, they sort of like went all out. I guess I keep going back to Atlanta because that was probably just the best venue. It was unreal. It was just like this awesome like Southern style barbecue. You know, like ribs, baked beans, brisket, jambalaya, all this delicious food. It was really good.
Oh man, that's amazing. That kind of reminds me of this one venue in the Netherlands in Europe, and we were fed with everyone else, like not necessarily the bands, but like the crew, like working at the venue, and they had some of probably the best food I had all tour, and it was absolutely delicious. And like the venue was probably the best venue, and oh man, just they had like ham, they had amazing salad, they had like meatballs. Oh, dude,
that's the dream.
Next level, yeah.
I've heard the riders and just like the hospitality on European tours is just like off the hook.
Yeah, there were definitely a few venues where it was a bit like weird. I'm trying to remember. I think it was Prague. That was a bit strange.
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah, definitely they were absolutely insane. I mean, there was this other place in Switzerland where they had a tap, like a beer tap, in the dressing room.
That's cool.
So you could like pour your own beers, and they had like a ping pong table back there. Oh, dude,
that's really cool. We never had a beer tap, but we had a couple of venues with like a soda machine and you know, bar fridge and that sort of thing.
Yeah, Prague is really weird. But then yeah, we had this one place in Switzerland, which had like the beer on tap. Back place, and then it had like ping pong. It was sick. But yeah, beer is definitely not my drink of choice.
No, me neither.
So,
I don't drink at all. So
yeah. Oh, right. Okay.
It's cool to have.
Yeah.
It's just like a pretty baller thing to have there. I can definitely appreciate it.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. But yeah, what were you saying about in the States?
I can't.
Yeah, like you had like soda fountains and stuff.
Oh yeah, we had like some of the venues had soda machines and like you know, like cable TV and a couple of other cool things, but no beer taps. And I've heard that the hospitality is just pretty insane in Europe.
Yeah.
On the short stack tour that I just did, Young Lions were on it, which is Zach Britt from Dream on Dreamer as well.
Yep.
And I was talking to Zach one night about touring overseas, and he was just talking about riders. And he was saying when they tour in Europe with Dreamer, they put socks and underwear on the rider every single night. And like he reckons 9 times out of 10 in Europe, they'll get it.
Shit.
He reckons sick. He said like he puts that on the rider everywhere he goes, like every single show, but it's only in Europe that they actually do it.
Yeah, right.
I thought that was really cool.
Yeah. I mean, who was it? I was watching an interview of some band and they were saying that they did the same thing. But then the venue got back to them and they're like, oh yeah, that's not really hospitality. So we're not going to get that for you or something. I don't know.
Well, it sounds like it's kind of, you know, you can just chuck it on. It sounds like you can just, you know, ask for whatever. And if you get it, you get it. But if you don't, you don't. Depends how much they value you and appreciate you. I think if you're a small band on the bill, you probably won't.
Yeah.
If you're making some money for the venue, they'll probably do whatever you want.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, cool, man. Yeah. So you're no stranger to the road. What was it like? So when you did Europe, what was the showering situation like?
Because the band usually gets this. Well, honestly, I get really sweaty at the shows as well, but the band get neck level sweaty.
Yeah.
So usually,
neck level.
Like, we get to like a to where we're staying.
Yeah.
We sleep, wake up in the morning, then they all have their showers, and I let them go first. And by the time they're all done, they're like, "All right, we need to go." So, like, I'd say,
so you guys had like proper accommodation?
Yeah, like mostly just backpacker hotels and stuff like that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. But most of the time, I didn't actually get to have a shower.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, so I smelt for a lot of that trip. I just had to cover it with some deodorant, but
baby powder and baby wipes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
But
that's rough.
yeah, it was. Yeah, like when I did get to shower, it was like such a luxury. I was like, oh yes, this is so good. But then like that was so rare. I maybe showered like I think maybe 6 times or 7 times on
Yeah,
that
right.
tour. So yeah, but it's okay. Um,
I
yeah,
probably go on about it too much, but that was definitely the hardest thing that I found about doing a proper tour. Just the fact that you couldn't shower every day.
yeah,
I'm like not a clean freak, but I just like really appreciate good personal hygiene. Like
yeah,
I have a very strict, not strict, but I just always want to look and smell my best. Put it that way.
yeah, definitely.
And I mean, we had a shower on the RV, but it had to be used for storage because there's not too much room underneath. Like all the band
Ah,
gear was in there. So like honestly, it got to the point where all we wanted to see at a venue, we didn't care about the rider, we didn't care about anything else. We just wanted a shower at the venue. That's all
yeah,
we wanted.
yeah. There were
Um,
very few venues that actually had showers in
yeah,
Europe that I remember, which yeah,
I'm gonna say like 20% of the venues that we did in the US had showers.
yeah, I'd say about the same in Europe.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
One really good thing though is the truck stops have amazing. You can pay like $5 or something. Might be a
Mm.
bit more. I can't remember. But the truck stops have amazing, clean, modern, nice showers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like they're obviously made for truckies,
Yeah.
and sometimes there's a bit of a line, but that's because they like clean it between every person.
Oh shit. Okay.
Thankfully, because who knows? Yeah, who knows?
What people do with
Those
it.
blokes are on the road a long time, so who
Yeah.
knows?
Oh shit.
But their showers are really really good, so I definitely recommend that.
Yeah, that's something definitely to keep in mind.
Yeah.
One thing that I actually also wanted to ask you.
Hmm.
What did you do with Wi-Fi? Because I'm assuming not all the venues had Wi-Fi, but did you get a SIM card or like so that you could upload photos and onto Instagram and like to get photos to the band? Did you only give them photos when you had Wi-Fi, or did you use your SIM card, or what was the deal with that?
So Wi-Fi is a bit of a tricky one because not all the venues have it, and by the time so if you want to use the Wi-Fi at a venue, you have to be in the venue first and start your uploads then. Because by the time that 5 bands come in and they all jump on and start downloading movies and updating their phones,
Yeah,
like the
right.
Wi-Fi is trash. So you have to get in first to the venue every day. I usually so on a perfect day, like on the good days,
Yeah,
I would the band that I was with was playing first on the bill. So I would shoot their stuff and then I wouldn't shoot too much of the other bands, just maybe like, less than 50 frames
mm,
if it was a band that I really liked. So
mm,
I would basically just spend my time editing the photos that night backstage in the green room
yeah,
and then hopefully have them uploaded before we leave that night.
yeah,
That's ideal. Obviously it doesn't always happen because sometimes you have to shoot more or sometimes there's no Wi-Fi or sometimes you're just distracted. But
yeah,
if not, then you add it in the van and first thing as soon as you get to the venue, you jump in there and upload then. Another thing that I was just like so valuable to me was I had my iPad and
okay,
I actually just for the candid shots I had like a wireless memory card. I had the Flash Air from Toshiba,
yep, yep,
and I also have this little thing. It's like a SD card to Lightning adapter.
okay,
So for the candid shots, like if we're just like seeing the sights, or let's say like for us, we spent today just walking around New York City and Central Park and whatever.
yeah,
So those shots there, they were a lot of fun and they're great for the memories, but like they're not life changing. Like they're just like snapshots. They're just for
yeah,
Instagram or whatever. So I would actually put them on my iPad. My iPad's got like a 128 gig internal memory. So I
right,
would put the JPEGs from the second card in my camera, put them straight to the iPad, and then put them through the Visco app and just upload them. Or even better, if you didn't have Wi-Fi, I would just airdrop them to everyone's iPhones.
Right. Okay. AirDrop's actually a really good idea. Hey,
AirDrop is insane. I learned that when I was away. Like, I didn't even know what it was. It's so fast.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. That's a really good idea.
Yeah. Just because, I mean, you know, as well as anyone, having to get out your laptop, import the photos, sort through them, edit them, export, upload, like, it's such a hassle.
Yeah.
Whereas on your iPad or iPhone, like, you can just zap a few out. It doesn't work for show photos, as you know, because lighting needs to be corrected, and that's just too hard to do in the app. But just for general snapshots, like, especially if it's in daylight, like, if there's lots of light, you can make a photo look, you know, really good just with that app.
Yeah.
And the best thing about it is you can, so you choose obviously your filter, and then you do your settings, whatever settings you want to change, temperature, sharpening, whatever. Then you can like copy that setting and put it on all of the photos.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Yeah. So that was the best thing I found for just like day-to-day pics. That would take the pressure off so much.
Yeah.
And it means you only have to edit the show pics at the shows.
Yeah. That would definitely help, especially now that my photo for all the candid stuff, like when we're out and stuff, will be my A7.
Oh yeah.
And that's got Wi-Fi.
It's got Wi-Fi built in.
And it's got Wi-Fi built in, so which will help a lot. I actually did quite a bit of it on the Stray tour, actually.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, I never used it before. I was like, guys, do you want any of these photos? And it was super easy to use. Oh my god, it was just select the photos that I want, send them to my phone, and edit them on Visco, and ready to go.
See, the card, the wireless card that I have is pretty slow. It's not the best. It does the job.
Yeah.
I usually. Oh, you have one of those, don't you?
I used to. I kind of threw it out or disabled it. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of it.
Because I think I asked you when I was getting it. I think I asked you about it.
Yeah, like it's definitely a good thing to have if you don't have other Wi-Fi capabilities.
Yep.
But like I pretty much got rid of it when I got my A7.
Okay.
And I used it in the States a bit.
Yep.
With my Fuji camera, but
yeah.
it drained the battery so much. That was definitely the one worst thing about it.
See, I actually didn't find that at all.
No?
I mainly used it as just the second card in the 5D Mark III, and I would just shoot not fine, but it was either medium or large JPEGs. So they were like, let's say like 7 or 8 megabytes each.
Yeah, right.
So it's not good if you want to do 100 at a time. If you want to transfer 100, that's going to take you over an hour.
Yeah.
But if you just want to do 1 or 2, I found it to be excellent, and I didn't think it drained the battery at all.
Well, my experience was that it not when I was transferring over the photos, just when I was taking photos, when it was draining the battery,
Right.
because it was always on,
mm-hmm.
And because it uses the camera to power the
network.
And yeah, so one of my biggest mistakes was it was the only time on the entire time that I was in the States with Stories that we went all out together.
Yep.
Into New York City, and my camera had 2/3 battery. I barely used it. I maybe took about 5 photos. By the time that we got into the city, it was dead.
Man, that sucked.
Yeah, so
I know it's too late now, but there is a little workaround.
Yeah.
The very first image on the card is a protected image. It's just a little icon of it's either a lock or a key or something. And if you, in your camera settings, if you can go to that first image on the card and protect or unprotect it, that turns the network on or off.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So you can just use it as an SD card if you want to, and then you can turn the wireless on when you need to.
Right. Okay. I didn't even know that.
But honestly, like for a bit more money, I can't remember how much the card was. Like, it was less than $40. I think probably I think maybe like 60 or 70, you can get one of these like SD to Lightning adapters, which works like really, really, really quickly and well.
Yeah, right.
But you've got the A7S, so you're
the
laughing.
A7 II.
A7 II, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, if that's anything as quick as the 6D Wi-Fi, then like that would be excellent.
It is ridiculous. Like, I select photos, to transfer them over is as fast as AirDrop.
That's really good.
Yeah,
that's like
insane.
Bluetooth. Hey, that's like really fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah, man.
How is the A7 II? Have you been using it much?
I have, actually. Yeah, so just like everyday kind of stuff. It's just it's amazing. Like, the only thing that I find that I don't like about it is I can't shoot live music with it because let's say you're on your camera and you're shooting in live view, right?
Yep.
You know how when you take a photo, it will take a second for it to refresh? It does that. So I can't shoot like it, because when you're shooting with the DSLR, it goes duck, 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 like, and it's just like next photo, next photo, next photo. Whereas because it needs to refresh, like that's the way that I put it, at least. It refreshes. It goes like shutter, refresh,
and it's going to be black for half a second.
Yeah.
What is that called? Shutter lag? What's that called?
I don't even know. I just figured that it was resetting something. So
yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about because the X100S does the same thing. Yeah, that's a shame. Because I know like the newer versions of that camera are just like absolute low light destroyers.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Like, so you might not have used much flash with the X100S, but it has a leaf shutter.
Yeah.
So you can sync it to really high flash speeds. Do you know if you can do the same with the Sony cameras?
It doesn't have a leaf shutter, and I've actually never used an off-camera flash with it just yet.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm actually completely clueless on that. I just honestly, I'd assume that you wouldn't be able to.
Yeah, right.
It would just have like a stuck
mechanical.
Yeah, because I know that you can't do silent shutter mode.
Okay.
Because I tried doing that on a behind the scenes thing and I just couldn't find it. I looked it online, and apparently anything over 18 megabytes is the sensor. Something with the sensor is too difficult to. I didn't really understand.
Yeah, right.
But
so, like, to listen to when you take a photo, does it sound like a DSLR almost?
Without the slap of the mirror, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because like you remember the Fuji cameras, like it's really, really quiet.
Yeah.
It's just almost like a little. It's like a tap instead of like a. I don't know.
Instead of like a.
Yeah, instead of a slap.
It's like
a crunch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I love the X100S. I know you got rid of yours, but
yeah,
it sounds like you've upgraded, and it looks like Sony's just killing everything at the moment.
Yeah, actually, fun fact: do you know what the S stands for and the T stands for?
Go on.
Well, I'll give you a hint. The next one, when they release it, is going to be called the X100F.
I might have heard this before. I've got no idea. I'm sorry.
I had my Fuji rep come in a little while ago. He absolutely blew my mind with this. X100S stands for 102nd, T 3rd, F 4th, and then the 5th they're going to move on to the X100, X200 something.
Ooh, there you go.
Yeah,
dropping the knowledge bombs.
Yeah, which, dude, that like everyone I've spoken to, they're like, I have no idea. Like, I wanted to know for so long, and I saw so many websites being like, haha, this is what S stands for. S stands for like speed. S stands for like
sexy.
Similar. Or, sexy or something. I don't know. And yes, and then the Fuji rep came into the store the other day, and he was like, yeah, so it just means like 2nd, 3rd, and the next one's going to be F. And I'm like, that is so smart and just like
so simple.
So simple. How did no one think of this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, someone might have asked me that before and I didn't know.
Like, just they were curious.
someone would have been like, what's the difference between the S and the T? Like, why they're called something different.
Oh, right, yeah.
But there you go. Now I'm going to drop that knowledge bomb on someone else now.
Do it.
Yeah. Nice one, man.
Yeah.
What other... I'm trying to think if I have any other tour-related questions for you. One thing that I will say that I learnt from my friend Jonathan, who was on this tour in the US.
Yeah.
A really, really cool thing that he does is sometime before the end of tour, he'll have a show or a day where he'll take everyone's portrait individually on the tour, including all the crew and TMs and whatever else. And what he did was he basically made like a collage. I'll send it to you just to show you.
Yeah,
and it's like an Instagram pic with, 35 little heads and then the logo of the tour on it.
That's cool.
And it's really, really cool. Apart from the fact that it's just cool to have an individual photo of every person on the tour, just for Instagram and for bragging rights and whatever.
Yeah.
Literally every person on the tour shared that on their own Instagram and band pages and Facebooks and whatever.
Yeah, man.
And that was one thing that I really wanted to do with the Short Stack tour, but I only just thought of it right then.
Right.
Damn it. I forgot. But anyway, like, you should definitely do that. I want to see you do that because it's really cool.
Yeah, definitely. If it might be a bit difficult with me because I'll be coming in halfway through the tour. Everyone will be friends already. That's the thing that's going to shit me, is that everyone's going to know each other already, and I'm going to come along and be the outsider. And because I'm not there for long, only by maybe like the last few dates is actually, come to think of it, I don't think I'm going to be even on the like Moths to Flames tour.
Oh, really?
Let me have a look here.
It'll just be the headline.
I will be there for the last show for the thingy.
Yeah, that is tricky then, hey.
Yeah, definitely won't be able to do that.
Like, if you had a couple of weeks at the end, I was going to say, like, well, actually, that would be the best scenario because, everyone else has got past the awkward things. Yes, you might feel like the outsider for the first 2 dates, but apart from that, everyone else is already friends and, make them suffer love you. So if you're a fan of them, if you're a friend of them, then everyone else is going to be a friend anyway.
Yeah, right. Yeah, definitely.
I have to say, that's like probably the absolute top best thing about this sort of touring with that sort of length of time over there. On an Australian tour, you do, let's say, 5 shows.
Yeah.
And by the 5 show, people are only just starting to, become good friends and get to know each other.
Mm.
Whereas like 2 weeks in, maybe to your, to the band's US tour, everyone will become great friends. And then you've still got 4 weeks to go.
Yeah.
I really miss that about Australian tours. Like the fact that unless you get to do a second tour with the same group of friends, you just won't have that same relationship.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
It's tricky.
Yeah. I mean, I remember on the first Make Them Suffer tour that I did, the Australian tour one with like Black Tongue and I Valiance.
Yep.
Everyone only became friends in Brisbane.
Mm-hmm.
Like everyone became like at least the Black Tongue guys really became like kind of opened up, I guess, in a way.
Yeah,
like they were always friendly, but like that's when it started to really kick in.
Yep.
And then it was Perth, and then that was the last show.
Yeah, that sucks.
So they had 2 days, and then they're out. So
yeah, well, the Short Stack tour was literally the last night, which was in Brisbane. Like that, everyone really, really was close. Like we went out afterwards, and like we went around to a few like bars and clubs as like a tour package.
Yeah.
And the TMs would sort everything out to just get us straight in, and everyone was just having a great time. Actually, I should mention this now in case he's listening. Randomly at the end of the Brisbane show, Andy Clementon, who's the bass player from Short Stack, if you're listening, Andy, he came up to me and he said, PJ, And I said, Andy. And he said, I'd never really met him at this stage.
Yeah.
And he said, I listened to your podcast and it's great. And I've learned so much. Thank you. And I was like, what? That's awesome. So thank you so much, man. It was actually so good. Like I had kids in Brisbane, kids in Sydney, kids in Adelaide say they listen to the podcast. So
dude, that's insane.
That was really cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Proud
Makes it all worthwhile.
Yeah, definitely, dude. I wish I was accomplished.
Well, hey, like I need to get into the habit of doing this more often. So if we maybe like could get some topics, if you would want to come on like maybe every other week and just chat about a topic with me, I think that'd be really cool, and that would help me keep to a more regular format.
Yeah, of course, dude. Anytime.
You can be my co-pilot.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yay. You get to do something with my life.
You do plenty, man. Are you 20?
Yeah.
Get out of town.
Get out of town.
Get out of town, Jared. Yeah, there's so many talented young people in the music industry.
It's very true.
Yeah.
So many young people that haven't even found their passion yet, but when they do, they will be killing it.
Absolutely. On that note, is there anything else that we've missed out on?
Not that I can think of, except for another allergy attack.
Yeah. For anyone listening, we did try and have this conversation a week or two ago, and then I don't know what happened. The cat hair got to Jared. Jared just started. Yeah, the allergy symptoms were pretty full on, so I had to let him go because I thought he might pass out on screen. It would have been good because I would have recorded it.
You could have recorded my death.
Yeah, I played at your funeral.
Oh yes,
that's pretty brutal.
Jared's final moments.
All right, man.
All right,
we'll leave it there. If you think of anything else, just holler at your boy.
Yeah, man. Sounds good, buddy.
I wish you all the very best for your upcoming adventures. You're gonna have the best time ever.
Yeah, right back at you, dude.
And we'll talk very soon.
Definitely. Sounds good,
buddy. Thanks for coming on. I appreciate it.
No worries. See you next time.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you ever so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did and you would like to consume more similar sort of content to this, I have plenty of other episodes over on my website, bigpantsphoto.com/podcast. You'll find the show notes to this page as well as many others. I also have a very cool little free ebook available. If you type in your email address, I'll send it straight to you. It's about exactly the sort of gear you need to take professional band promos on a budget. Until next time, thank you again for listening, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye.